train set. What you've just seen are some of the problems you have when you try and film model railways. In this particular case, when you're trying to get a driver's view. This video is about how I mount the camera to go round the layout, and also how I overcome it doing what you've just seen. I'll also show you different views you can get with the camera, either moving or stationary, and I'll also show you my little update to my layout. Not very big and a bit Heath Robinson, but it works. And also finally, or rather, really end, just a little brief introduction to my next video. I won't give the game away, what it is, but I will tell you the name of it. So anyway, hope you enjoy this, and subscribe if you would, and comment, and hope you enjoy the video. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. So coming into view is what I put the camera on. Simple little northeast wagon, of which I've got two, but I'd only use this one. Pushed in by my little 08 shunter, and what happens is the body comes off quite simply, and underneath you can see some gaffer tape which is holding on a big metal washer, and also you can see a big metal weight, which is what I did to alleviate the problems we've just seen at the first two videos. The camera has got a magnetic base, and it sticks like billy-o, and I put the little matchstick underneath to give it a little tip up. So what's going to happen now is I've now started the camera, and it's beginning to take video, and you can just about see that the counter is going up 20 seconds. So we're now about to have a little ride around, well, not all round the circuit, but until as far as we could go, with the camera filming quite slowly, because as we all know, an 08 shunter doesn't go that very quick. And I will, after you've seen it come out onto the main circuit from the fiddle yard, show you what it was filming. It works very well, and this is what you get. Very slow, this one. Obviously going past the HST, which I will mention later in the video. This is why I've done a little update to the layout. Here you can see the back of my embankment, in inverted commas. Very rough and ready. I did paint it with emulsion paint to take the whiteness of the paper off, which has helped. And here we come out onto the layout. Just made a bit of fencing, and obviously the lower embankment. Don't need it so high here because there's nothing behind it. And here is my, as Sam Strange would say, my ocean of wagons. But I sort of wonder whether I should call it a sheaf of wagons, because they're sheaf material detail on it. So here we go up to effectively Valentine Junction, with obviously another little goods train with all the rocks in on your right, and we come round the station and we divert off round the main circuit, and we're coming up to the back of the train that's parked there. I did actually hit this, and it's testament that the camera is pretty solid in that it just moved it slightly. It didn't knock the truck off, and I just reversed it away, and I took out the collision. I didn't want to upset everybody. Here we go back into the fiddle yard. And what I'm going to show you next will be the camera on the front of the Tornado locomotive in a video that's been already posted, showing what it looks like on the front, and also obviously the footage that it took. I will also show you some various different shots you can get with the camera, very simply. So here's the camera going around, as you can see, quite steady. And I thought I'd let this run for a little while to show you some trains running. You can see the full video on my passenger and long freight upload that was done recently. So here we go, showing you what was taken by the camera. And this is the camera on by the layout showing the HST coming out of the station, and then switching to what that camera was taking, as you can see. And I think it's quite effective, especially at very slow speeds. This was at the end of the platform, obviously, showing it there now. Now this I did quite a long time ago, and I thought it would be nice to have a view as though you were holding the camera out through the window. And the way I did this was actually literally to hold the camera on the side of the Pullman carriage, you can see, with elastic bands. The only problem with this is that it tips the carriage over. So I put a weight on the other side, and that worked quite effectively, I thought, you know. So here we go back into the fiddle yard with the camera. And what I'm about to do now is, as you will see, is to turn the camera through 90 degrees. This I will do actually on the layout, as you can see, with a little bit of fiddling. And as you will see in a moment, I will take the little matchstick out from underneath to level the camera up. It is quite strange, isn't it, that it curves everything, but being a fisheye lens, it's unfortunately is what happens. I think more modern ones might be better in this respect, but I've had this probably 8 months or so, and bought it through a recommendation by Chadwick's Model Railway, which I thank them for. So here we go out onto the layout. And as you can see, still going fairly slowly, just to give a steady shot. And in a moment we'll see it coming out through the scenery. And here we go. And then you can see the video that it took. So here we go. So what it seems to show is, as you look at the layout, it seems to be a permanently round layout. No straights, just always round at this angle. It bows out the scenery, which is perfectly parallel. Makes it look as though it's bulging at the top. Once you get a longer view, it's not so bad, but as you can see, it does bend the signal gantries over. They're not like that, they are straight, honest. But we're going round the round at the end now, the curves at the end. And actually we are now, as you can see, coming into a straight. But as you come round into that straight, it looks like it's still round. And a nice round platform as well. But there we are, that's one of the traits of the camera, and it gives you a big field of view. So if you use it outside, it's obviously not so much of a problem, but here it magnifies everything hugely. So we're coming, not going to go any further because we'll hit that train again. Can't do that, can we? So we will now make our way back into the fiddle yard. A little bit quicker. I think this is probably the maximum speed of the locomotive, at 15 miles an hour. I've got my modern freight wagons in the siding there for all the passengers to admire. And as you can see, we've got a few steam locomotives in the yard there. So back we go under the scenery. This is the back of it, with all the cables, and the HST comes into view quite quickly, and my old style carriages. And here it comes, the view of it actually going around the layout. You can see the camera is placed with the lens inwards. If you try to do it outwards, you wouldn't see much, obviously. You'd see a lot of the room and a lot of me, but not many locomotives. So here we are in the fiddle yard, and the camera comes off, simply like that. And I'm now about to put the wagon back on. I put the matchstick inside because it's the safest place to leave it. It is quite a snug fit, and to make it easy to get on and off, I did take the little clips off that used to clip it in. But as you can see, with the tape and everything, it's quite difficult to get it back on, so you don't really need the clips to hold it, and there we are. So we'll couple it back up to the little shunter, and I'll give you a little view of it in a moment going out onto the layout. But this is the camera. The flashing light is the wireless that connects to my tablet, which I control it with. So if I push the button on the wireless, it will turn it off, and you'll hear a little buzz. There you are, very gently. And to turn the camera off, you push that and hold it until it beeps and goes out. And there we are. And the button that I just used to turn it off, it also operates it. There's the magnetic base. And to use the button on the top to operate it without the wireless, you push it once for a photo and twice to video, and then once to stop the video. It does work. But I do like operating it through the tablet because you can see what it's taking. So as the wagon and the 08 shunter go out onto the layout, very slowly, what's coming up? Well, I'm going to show you a little update to the fiddle yard, and also a little snippet of a video that I'm planning next. So we'll just watch the shunter go out, and obviously this shunter does have sound, but I decided for clarity that I wouldn't have it running this time. The camera, as you can see, is really nice, and it was well recommended by Chadwick's Model Railway, and if you want to see a bit more detail about it, go to his channel and find it. It is on there. Unfortunately, I can't give you a link to it because I don't know how to do that yet. It will come. As I say, I'm still learning everything after just over a year. But I think the wagon looks okay. You could use it in a run, couldn't you? Albeit only at the back of a railway, because there's only one coupling at one end. When you couple it to the HST, which you saw in the shots recently, it's actually just sitting against the nose, and it does sometimes run away from it because I can't couple it. Right, so here's a photo of my HST across the junction that we've just been using. And there it is on the fiddle yard. Now the track used to end where you can see the board ending, but I decided I'd had some track over it and I'd like to extend it so that it would come. Heath Robinson indeed, but as you can see there's not much to fix it to. That's the underside of the little platform. So I got that. That's a bit of hardboard that it's actually a different level, so that worked because it bent. And then the nice bit of oak at this end where the buffer is, I had a bit of that, so I screwed that underneath. And here comes the HST up to the buffers gently. And there you are, it fits, and I can then use all the others. So this is the little pre-sequel. So what's coming around the bend? Can anybody see what it is yet? Obviously a steam engine. But what steam engine is it? Yes, it's my castle class, Earl of St German, putting a little rake of blood and custard Western region carriages. And this is going to be the style of my next video, as we see it starting off. And I'm going to call this video the 10:30 from Robert's End. I'm not going to say any more than that, but it will definitely style this locomotive. And I hope you look out for it, and when I've filmed it, which I haven't at this stage, you'll enjoy it. So I'll just let you see a little bit more of this running round. Going a little bit quicker now, past the sea of wagons there. So we're about to finish, and I will have my titles up in a minute. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll subscribe, as I've said in the credits that are coming up. And thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.